boy T-Po. This the New Solution Radio podcast show. And if it ain't AGELREEFE and the family, I'ma keep saying it till I get tired. Overstand, leg up. Yo, we back on the air, live and direct with another show, you know what I'm saying? We getting ready to do this thing. You know, we got Miss Pat King in here, we got the crew in here, you know what I'm saying? So big ups to everybody that came in, you know. We're gonna give a round of applause for that, you know what I'm saying? And today is a big show, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna bring on my co-host right now. We got Lady Red in the building, you know what I'm saying? CEO, Lady Red Entertainment Empire. How you doing today?
What's up, T-Po? Doing well. Glad to be back with you guys after being off for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about starting everything off with our candidates that we got running.
Right. It's a big, you know what I'm saying? So this is a big thing. It's a big time. The title of the show is Vote. Your voice has a choice, and vice versa. You can run it either way. So we wanted to keep the thing going with a couple more days with Pat King. She's out in the field right now working with everybody that's tuned in. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, y'all keep it locked. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, you know, wherever you got social media at. I'm going to bring on one of my other co-hosts. We got Ambassador Carr from the Big We, 501c3 out of Ohio, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, Mr. Ambassador? How you doing? Okay. We're going to go and bring on Miss King on here so we can get started with the programming. Miss King, how you doing today?
Hey, it's a little warm out here, but I'm excited. I'm out here going knocking door to door.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey.
So how's everything going with the campaign and everything?
It's positive. Hey, they keep sending mailers out. They keep doing surveys, so I know I'm up.
Okay. I know you are out there working, so you know what I'm saying, we don't want to take up too much of your time. But we did want to bring you on and ask you a few questions about the city council, the District 1 in Huntsville. You know what I'm saying? I'm native of Huntsville, also in District 1. And, you know, it's a lot of questions that's going around about Miss Pat King. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're used to a certain, you know what I'm saying? We're used to a certain level of politics with certain people. We're not going to say no names, nothing. But we want to know more about Miss Pat King and what she's going to do. You feel what I'm saying? We've seen what we've seen. So just give the people a little more.
I've been here.
Go ahead.
So I've been here living in Huntsville over 30 plus years. My children graduated from Huntsville City Schools, J.O. Johnson, and Columbia.
Okay. Jaguar.
Yep. And my husband just retired 2 years ago from Huntsville City School. He was the assistant principal at Ed White.
Okay.
And so I've always been concerned about the schools. I come into schools and I've always gone into schools, help with reading, tutoring, free tutoring, robotics, coding, and now we're flying drones and we're showing the kids how fun it is to fly drones and coding and cybersecurity. So our kids can have those options that other kids have. Right. And then on top of that, our kids need to see people that look like us that are in those fields. Mm-hmm. So that's what I basically do. And now I'm running for school board because I want to do more. I have a crew. And they're coming in and they're helping me out. And we want to provide those opportunities. I understand. I'm an engineer. I understand vocational education. I understand vocational education, the trades. I need electricians. I need plumbers. I need carpenters. I need welders. And kids need to know that those trades make great money. Right. And so a lot of times our kids, you know, they don't hear about that. They hear about college, you know, go to college. Well, college is not for everyone. And I understand that. And so I want my kids to know that they don't have to go to college. Hey, how about just getting some credentials, certificates, some training, and they can go to work.
Right. Right.
Some of
I
the
remember.
smartest people in the world I know ain't go to college.
Right. So I have a nephew.
Right.
He's in the DMV area. He doesn't want to really go to college, but he's getting his credentials in computers.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, I
Yes,
want you
ma'am.
to vote for Pat King for school board.
I like that. I like that.
And my partner,
Got that working. I like it.
Out there
Appreciate it
working.
That's
So
all
Tuesday.
see,
about putting the
you
work
And
get a
I'm
in.
clear
running
view
for Miss
on what's
Watkins'
going on
place.
in the politics. You
All
got to
right.
be
She
out
over here if you want to see her.
in the streets diligently working. You
Okay.
know what I'm
All
saying?
right. We appreciate you.
It take work and diligence. You know, being out in the
Right.
field working like she is, and you get to see this live and direct. If you out there on social media, wherever you at, we on worldwide platform. It's fact they're seeing you working, and that's what we need to see, the diligence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going door to
Right.
door. We
Got
appreciate you,
that in the
man. We
field.
appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate. We got this thing say, be the change you want to see, and it
Yeah.
starts with you, and your effort got to be with you. You don't always need a team. You is the team when your efforts come. People attract to that. Okay, it ain't no different than if
Yes.
survivors run past me at the speed of light. I'm finna run too, cause you just sometimes fall in line. I don't know what he running for. So I'm gonna follow that until I stop and find out what's going on. So being the change we need to see has a lot to do with individuality.
Right.
And
Right.
that's how we start a collective. A collective
Yeah.
a collective always started with an individual.
Showing our young.
Yes.
Right. It's showing our young. You got to get out
Hey,
there
did you?
and work. You got to go out there and demand. You got to have change, especially young ladies out there. So you definitely
Right.
showing you got to get out there and work on a positive attitude. And me coming, I'm in the Alabama area. I'm coming from Birmingham. So I try to support everybody, especially our females that's in the political, trying to make a change. And one thing I liked about your campaign, what Pope told me we were doing is, you were saying you want to put students first. That's a part of your main concern of your campaign. A lot of what's going on now, they're not putting the kids first. They took, prayer out of schools, and it changed a lot of things and changed the dynamics of how we came up and how we had that one-on-one teaching, those mentors in the school helping each other out, going the back for the kids and showing them other aspects of getting your education. A lot of kids, like you said, can't afford to go to college. I was fortunate. I had scholarships to go to college and things of that. A lot of kids don't know, and parents, how to get out there to get scholarships on different things. So you're showing them a different aspect that they can do to go and work out here in the workforce, get their name done. Because a lot of people that are successful didn't go to college.
Right.
Some of the richest people in the
That
world
that is true.
didn't go, but you got to go to work for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to go to work, and on top of that, you got to be available to your stakeholders, and that's parents and students and educators and the system, and listen. We have one mouth, two ears. That means that we need to be listening, and don't think you know everything. Because most of the time I've learned, even in my work experience, that it's the people on the ground that has the solution to the problem if you go talk to them and you're listening.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And in
Correct.
politics, things now that
Absolutely
the people
right.
with the solution to the problems is being silenced by the politician by law.
Right.
We stopped writing the bills. You know what I mean? When I was coming up in
Right.
I'm a 70s baby. So when I was coming up in the 70s and the 80s and things like that, I have a really long memory. I don't forget too much of nothing. But people that was writing the bills was in our communities. People that was writing the bills was in the gym after hours having a parents teachers conference meeting, but the parents and the teachers was just the parents. It ain't had nothing to do with the school. You feel what I mean? We had our own PTA meetings in there because we had our own kind of social environment of education. We was raised off it takes a village. So the village was the babysitters and this, that, and the other. But the people that was writing the bills and getting these bills passed was those, like she said, that was on the foot. We've gotten to the point now to where they are writing the bills and making the laws and taking the people out of the equation to actually not say hire them, but watch them as we're the bosses for them. They're taking it away from us. Now, as far as the school thing,
And
I
that's
don't. Go ahead.
Right.
and you're right. We have the business community has taken over politics. You know, with all this money. Hold on.
Little guys wanted a bunch of your cards. I gave the guys many.
All that.
Get
Um,
that work in.
so the business community has taken over. They pumping a lot of money. So we're not being represented anymore. They're our politicians are representing the business community. And the Constitution says for the people, by the people. They've taken the people out.
Yes, that's why we are up under a corporate constitution of banner, because the corporate constitution gives all the legalities of law to the business owner, and America is being ran under a corporate business now. As far as the
Yes.
school situation going, is taking the prayers out. Like, I don't take too much of that, because some people is trying to force certain things on people according to religion, and everybody ain't Christian in that school, or everybody ain't Catholic, and everybody ain't Muslim, and everybody ain't just atheists and stuff like that. So you got to respect people's nature and culture, not just because you're this, so everybody should follow it. So if you take that about the school, you give children the opportunity to choose who they want to serve as their master, instead of just inflicting something and forcing on something. Your kid might grow up and don't never want to serve nothing but nature. You gonna make them force God, choose God? God is in nature because you is nature too. So sometimes you just have to take the good with the bad. But they took all that out just to add little kids up in there that feel like they something else and want to go in there with your girls or your boys. So we just have to understand all this stuff is a political agenda at the end of the day, and the people ain't got no say so, because we know ain't no 4 billion people in America voted for no little tranny boy to walk up in the school and take a pee with my daughter. 4 billion people didn't vote for that.
Right.
Yeah. And let me add
Politics.
this. We got to start getting people ready and prepared to run for office. We have to get the idea and take that idea, develop people to run,
Mm-hmm.
stop doing. So we got to get back to getting people prepared to run for office. We can't wait till election time or election season. We got to do it right now for the next election.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Right. That's why I was stressing the last two shows that we did were about bringing awareness to get out and vote, because as the title says, your voice does have a choice. You do have you have to get out there. Like you see Miss Pat King, she's out there working right now. She's out there working diligently, going door to door. She wants to vote. You got to go out there and you got to put in that work. And it's important for us to get up and go out to the polls. If we want to see change, we have to get up as she's doing right now and go vote. We have to get up from where we at. No excuses. No, nothing. And take accountability for what your actions are. If you want something to change in your community, then do something about it. Be the solution. Be the change. Become the change. Become the person that that we're talking about. We're speaking about the welders, the builders, the trades, everything, whether it's CDL, whether it's welders, whether it's, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, when they blind us from the fact and put nothing but sports and entertainment in our face, then we need to strive for that instead of striving for things that can actually possibly make way more money. Because once them celebrities die, they take all the money.
Yeah.
Once y'all take all the money, the devil gonna have it do. Once you make that deal, he gonna take you, your family members, and the money and give it to somebody else. It's a revolving door of ignorance that we're being involved in. Ain't no education in this stuff that they produce no more, like we was listening to KRS-One and all this kind of stuff. Even though we was watching integration shows with the Jeffersons and stuff like that. We need that kind of stuff back. We don't need Cardi B. We need another Anita Baker.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually show these women how to court their man, and the man can actually receive the appreciation of having a good woman, so he can reciprocate each other. There's no love in the air no more. Somebody asked me what happened to the love, KD. You got to bring the love back. y'all stop giving it.
Mhm.
We
Yep.
stop giving love. So when she say we need to build these people up and have them ready for politicians, this is what the big we mean when we say we have to build them from our own rankings from the time they 8 years old until it's time to go and do what they want to do in the politics for the people, not the agenda.
Right.
If
I had
we is going to get out there and vote, we got to read what each politician got going on down the line and what they trying to pass. 9 times out of 10, your Republican or Democrat party is doing the same thing, and they gonna end up. He gonna lose, but he picking up his stuff because it's the same thing. That's what I mean. 2 suits and 1 coat.
right.
Some of these politicians don't agree with each other, but some of them passing the same stuff at the bottom.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you get one out, and he's still producing the same madness. Because
Right.
we don't see at the top line they name
Right.
and they color.
Right.
We can't keep voting off color.
Well, they built a dynamic off of that. You know what I'm saying? Red
Yes,
and blue
sir.
party, white and black. It's all a separation to keep us
Right.
divided when it's one nation under God. You feel what I'm
Wow.
saying? So
Sir.
the contradiction is right there in our faces when we do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then you got
Huh.
separation. You know what I'm saying? But my question, I got a question on the private chat from Miss Pat was I know she's busy working and everything, but Miss Pat, somebody wanted me to ask you about what are your intentions for District 1? That was one of the questions that were asked out there.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute.
Okay.
Get some
I didn't
cards.
mean to change.
Is out there working.
Yes, we working. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to slide the questions in for the people who watching. I'm trying to slide the questions in.
I love
Hey, you
it.
want
I
some
love
water to
it.
come in here?
When does
I love to see that though. I
I
love
know
to see
one
that though.
question. Now, when is the election for Huntsville? When is y'all election coming up?
Tuesday, August the 27th,
Okay. Because we definitely want to
which is
let
this
everybody know
Tuesday.
because it's
This
going out
Tuesday.
live. So, you know, so this Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
This Tuesday.
Definitely put that in.
And look, we gotta win because we got so much work to do.
Right. That was the question that was asked. What is your intentions? You know, what do we have to look forward to for you taking District 1 in the city council and the seat? What can we as the citizens of Huntsville District 1 look forward to? You know what I'm saying?
So, one, my cohort, which is Michelle Watkins, that's running for city council. Michelle has left the school district in a very good place.
Right.
You know, they're between her and the school board and the superintendent, they have already begun the work and they got things in place so our children can meet those literacy requirements, literacy in reading and math. I want to make sure that we continue, our kids have the resources they need so that they can pass those literacy tests. But I don't want the kids to be prepared to pass the literacy test. I want my kids to be prepared to move forward. And when they're tested, they're going to test well and not have to worry about, learning the test or being worried about because they're being tested because they're above the testing requirement. Then we can work on going to field trips, going to the zoo, going to the aquarium, doing different things and still learning. And school be fun.
Right.
Like it used
Also,
to be.
I want to bring different people with different backgrounds so they can look at people and say, I want to do that. I want to do this.
Do y'all still have recess out
So,
there?
yeah.
Do we have recess?
Some,
Do y'all still have recess out there?
yeah, and recess is different. Some schools have recess and some schools
Well,
have some type of activity. Look, PE.
Yeah, there you go.
But we had even when we was a starter, we had that anyway. You had to go to gym, but they always gave us recess for a social environment so you can get to know the students all through the school, right? It's like
and we need and
got
look,
so
our kids need to
dangerous,
have
though.
recess.
Yeah, they it got so dangerous that they can cut it off now. And I understand that kids was getting shot a lot. Now, this is why we need to make our communities safe too. And actually, ain't nobody gonna take over the communities as far as getting certain things under control, as far as on a street level with people that don't want to act right, but us. You want the streets back? Come outside. Bring your kids
Right.
outside.
As you see, Miss Pat King is outside.
Yeah, exactly.
She outside. You know what I'm saying?
This example is the perfect example of how the community takes it back from those who are actually out there destroying it. Because one thing for sure, the main purpose of that, the main understanding of that is that there
Hey,
are
hold on. Keep talking.
kids. So if we can't go out here in this community
Right.
and chill with our kids and tell our kids to get up off of this corner, then we just let our kids become the parents. We got to get back out there.
Right.
Everybody that was out there playing ball and stuff back in the days, you got kids now, bring them outside.
Yeah.
Them elderly people that's out there, protect them. Hey, dude, y'all got too much activity going on down here with this traffic and all these kids going down. Go in the alley somewhere, nigga.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't care.
Yeah.
You're gonna do your thing anyway, and the police gonna do what they do when they catch you, bro. So we can't just say, hey, get off my block and I'm finna pull my thing out because I'm protecting the kids. No, we need to ask them real respectfully, hey, bro, you know, we got some things going on out here with these kids, man. Can y'all make it a little bit more low key? You know what I mean? And if they respect you for what you do for the community, they gonna move, man. Because these youngsters are our kids. It takes a village. Get out of our way.
Right.
We can give them hours on the block. We don't care what y'all do after 8 o'clock at night, but during the day, y'all got to get them over.
Right.
Type of energy.
Right.
We got to do something. We ain't got to compromise with these guys. We have to give them their own ultimatums. You either do that, bro, or, you know, Miss Becky, she don't like nobody. She'll call the cops on you, bro. Miss Becky don't like nobody. You know what I mean? Y'all want to keep doing this stuff in front of Miss Becky, knowing Miss Becky
don't
call
have that anymore. You know, it's a disconnect.
Yes, ma'am, it is. I personally been doing
we don't have that anymore due to crime and violence and everything been going on. So you don't have in the communities everyone looking out for each other, like how we grew up. You know, my brothers or my cousins, for instance, got in trouble or something, the neighbors took care of their butt. And then their parents, while they get home, they got another whooping. You know, it was the whole deal, like you said, everybody was looking out for each other. You know, hey, don't bring that around here. You know, we have it quiet over here. The kids can go out and play. You rarely see kids outside on bikes. Kids are going anywhere into the parks like we used to because everything is so corrupt now. It doesn't happen. You know, I had a little cousin. It was 7 years ago got kidnapped. So it's a lot of stuff out here. We got to make sure we constantly watching, protecting our kids. But we have to, like Ms. Pat said, we got to get individuals ready for these offices and get out there. And then we also have to take our accountability and go out there and vote.
Right. Yes.
Everybody wants to complain about everything, but do you go out there and vote? Do you go out there and make a stand? Do you go to your kids' school for the PTA meetings? Do you go to, you know, and find out what's going on in the school system? Or are you still saying, oh, I got to work. I got to do this. I understand you got to work, but your kids should be your main priority as well, too.
Yeah, and but we gotta fix
a lot of, you know,
PT. We gotta do something with PTA so that it is flexible enough to understand that we got a lot of parents working. Whereas back when I was coming up, mom was home or mom had a job where she didn't work those long hours and could participate in PTA. So we can have PTA, but we got to do something different.
Right.
And we can call it the community parents association.
You're absolutely correct on that.
You know what I mean?
So, you know, that leads me to ask, I don't mean to interrupt, but what are some of the solutions that you feel, Ms. Pat King, that we can come with and start? Where can we start? You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's a start point and a finish point. You know,
So, here in Huntsville, PTA is typically on Tuesday nights, right?
right.
So does PTA have to be on Tuesday night? Do all the teachers have to be at PTA?
No.
Maybe we can have PTA on Saturday afternoon. Maybe we can have a big screen up in, like Zoom, breakout rooms for the different classrooms, and the teachers pop up and just give general information about what's going on in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there's a parent that needs to speak to a teacher about their particular student, then let's set up an appointment time so we can talk about your child and what we need to do and what struggles they're having or what they're doing great. Because a lot of times we think PTA is all about children being disruptive or having issues. What about those children that are doing great? Parents want to hear about what they're doing. Or can we do it on a Sunday?
Right.
We got to come up with different ways and different methods that are supporting parents in the home. We can't do it like we've been doing it on Tuesday night.
Right.
I used to get, because my husband was an educator, teacher. He was a PE teacher. I'm the one had to do the PTA all the time. And I'm like, he needs to be part of, PTA. He needs to be able to go to his children's open house. But he couldn't because on the Tuesday nights that our PTA was going, his PTA was going. So we need to just change change the method and not the message.
Right. I was speaking on that a couple of shows back about changing the curriculums that these kids are learning on. I mean, I know we learned a different way from the time we were in school to now, and technology has changed dramatically for the kids to learn with virtual learning and all of the accessibilities that the kids do have in the community. Being that I am a Johnson Jaguar alumni along with you, I felt like that was wrong about what they did to the school, that they could have turned that into a trade school, as you were saying. I understand about living conditions and all of that, but there are places in Huntsville that I know personally that could be used for that facility besides what they used it for. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion, because there was a lot of people that did speak about that. That it didn't get a lot of attention because it was shunned because of the fact of how it was done. You know what I'm saying? And Miss Pat King, we really looking for somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, so let me say this. So I'm an engineer. So I've had math all the way up from trig, algebra, calculus, and differential equation. At this time, tutoring, I have to go back and look at the new methods. I see multiplication done so different. I'm like, where was this stuff at when I was in school? We did multiplication a long way. Shoot, they got a short way of doing it. Look, I'm busy on Instagram saving the methods on math. So and kids are coming home with homework, and you saying, this is the way to do it. And the kids said, that ain't how my teacher showed me. So that's another thing that we need to work on. If kids are going to have homework, we need some people to help parents, or they help the students, and the parents are going to be all right.
Right. That's the thing about changing the method of the schoolwork and the curriculum math. If we do it the long way and they got an easier way for them to get the same answer, why is it wrong? Because y'all decided to do it different than what we learned. That's actually a value for them to know that long equation.
Homework, and I did it the way. And you know what? And that's another thing with our educators. As long as the student gets there and get there the right way, no method is wrong.
Wrong, right.
Whether it's the long way or the short way, as long as they get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Teaching is teaching, whether it's lower level, higher level, teaching is teaching. Education is education. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Hey, have y'all seen English? How they break down the sentence structure using new words
Uh,
or breaking a sentence down, where we had the noun, the pronoun, the verb, and they use different
And the
words
verb.
for that. So hey, they're not using what is it? The school, what is it? The school bus.
right.
Remember School Rock House?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's a lot of new
Everything, the
methods,
whole
but
curriculum of school has changed so much.
yeah. And it's all this necessary because it boils down to is that we got publishers, they want to make money.
Yeah.
See,
Mm.
school education now is a money making market.
Yeah.
So everybody trying to make money. The books, it's a money making market. We saw it in college, but now it's in the lower school levels.
Mm.
So that's one of the reasons why we have to get elected.
Yeah.
Texas, the state of Texas, they are the ones that choose the curriculum and the school books. If you all didn't know it, because
I didn't know
Texas is the largest purchaser of curriculum and school books. We got to change that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. So I didn't know that at all. That's something new I've
Yeah.
never known.
I didn't know that.
Learn something new every day. But you
Yeah.
notice though, if we're paying attention to social media, Texas got a lot to do with a lot of the trade that's going on around the world. That's headquarters
Yeah.
for a lot of stuff. You can look on entertainment. Oh, he's in trouble. They got to take him to Texas. We just be missing it sometimes.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
We
Right.
just be missing it. And it ain't too more different as far as in these schools because like the kids actually getting things taken away from them on the educational value. You know what I mean? She said she going for board, so I'm hoping she like what I want to do out here with the superintendent out here, we can actually see eye to eye on certain things. Like you have to put things that was taken away back in for these kids to actually understand, because your teacher's really not teaching them anything. They just throw the stuff on the board. We had a comprehension class, so these kids can understand comprehension, the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how. Even if they need to do an essay, math was based on the who, the what, the when, the where, the how to get to the answer of it. It wasn't just PD. You know what I mean? It wasn't just that. You had to have your number. You had to have your situation. You had to be able to break it down and why it's this, that, and the other. If you have to take away from them and how, boom, there go your answer. However we decide to break it down, a lot of things need to come back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I had asked them, do they have recess
Right.
too? Because kids became either enemies or best friends.
Right.
Yeah, and our kids need some playtime, some rest time, some time to get some of that energy out. That's why we have fights and we can't resolve conflicts with one another. We don't know how to play with each other.
Right.
We on individual devices and we really don't communicate with each other. So that's where recess comes in at. So yeah.
Yeah, keeping their phones out of school during school hours too, though. Oh my God, what's wrong with that part of the situation? Just, if they ain't got nothing to put in their hand, they ain't got no opportunity, nothing else to do but sit there in that book and do their work.
Right.
We wasn't able to bring no cell phones or no beep. You can let a beeper go off in your classroom. You ain't getting that back till next year.
You might well just get you a new
You
beat.
might well chalk that up.
Now I can't say we couldn't because I had my cell phone now, King. I'm a little younger. I had my cell phone working. But I was academics, and all this stuff. Everybody had.
Now, Lady
But
Red,
it's different from when.
be honest. How much did you miss though with that phone in your hand?
A lot. She missed a lot. Let me say this. So I came up no cell phones, no pagers. But I'm from Dayton, Ohio originally. And Dayton, Ohio is one of the first. My high school, Dayton Dunbar was the first school
He said, "What?"
nationally known that have kids come to school and lock their phones up when they first get to school. So I
Mhm.
think a lot of school systems has looked at it and they're going to start doing that. And I say
Yeah.
that they talk to the students and the students love it because now they don't have any distraction in the classroom. They don't have a device, and parents are like, well, what if I need to get in contact with my kids or tell them, where to go when school is out? Hey, what did our
Call the
parents
school.
do? They called the school up. That's what you
Right.
need to do. Call the school up.
That's one thing about it. We didn't want them calling mom and daddy because mom and daddy had to come off that job to come see about you at their school.
But see,
Yeah,
our kids
you
that
was
we
finna get
had
that.
has become
Yeah.
lazy.
Look, it's one of them where you don't get it right then at school. You get it at home after you got out the bathtub. You know what I'm saying? They think they done forgot about it.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
boy, I got it in
you got in
school.
trouble a lot. I mean, you got in trouble a lot if you got
I was hard headed.
I was the good one.
I was a
I'm
hard-headed
the
kid,
good
yeah.
one out the channel.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
it's just times are different. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna play this
I
role
can
like
have my
I was
phone
good
and
at
stuff,
two stupid in school now. Nah, I was
No,
hard headed.
sir.
but these kids
I
aren't
got it
paying
in school.
attention.
That's all they had to say. Do we need to call Miss Stokes? No, you really don't.
No, straight up, fly right, sit down. Change the whole
You
dynamic.
feel me? No,
That's how you have to stay right.
because she coming and she got the extension
Do they
cord in her
even
hand.
have detention?
Don't knock that because my mama would come
Yeah.
up there
Do
with
they
her
even have
bowling
that in
in her
schools
head.
anymore? Detention and
If you wasn't gonna pay attention to your mama at home, you was gonna pay attention to the teachers in school because you
so your
can't
mom
be
will
a
come
dummy
up
in
there.
school. You come home and do all that stuff. But she gonna make sure you paid attention in school. She did not play no game.
Right.
None.
Right.
I got all F's on my report card one time in my life, man. And when I tell you I couldn't sit down for 2 days, I still haven't seen an F since the 4th grade.
You lay on your stomach, don't you?
What? Man. Nah, Pops was strong. He's one of them old stone Muslim dudes, man. He had a belt that said Jeff on it with a big old 5-point star on it. And flipped that boy off like Pookie Tang.
Oh, Lord.
Bet it was
And grabbed me
thick.
by my leg and took care of that business. I've never seen an F again.
Oh, Lord.
I'm this big, y'all, so you have to understand there was no running.
Mm.
This
Where
is
you
a big
gonna run
strong
to?
man, 6'2", 200 and something pounds,
wow.
man.
You ever tried running away? Come on, you gonna run away?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Me and my
One
brother
The
time,
day,
tried that.
the day where you run away and you can't go nowhere after it get dark because you're hungry, tired, sleepy. You know you gonna get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
Whether it's either in the sleep, you're good in your sleep, and you get woke up out of it to a wow, ow. What
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy?
Right.
No,
We
as
gonna
we was running away that age and young, thinking we was getting abused and we was actually being disciplined. You learned a lot, you seen a lot, you grew up kind of early.
Yeah.
These kids we got now, the parents have become lazy. Those who have that little moral of upbringing and discipline, our kids that we got bent on the fact that we don't want to raise our kids that kind of way, and we start allowing the soft parenting to do these things, and now our kids is putting their hands on us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't respect.
I know we in good combo. I wanted to ask Miss Pat one more thing before she go because I know she's out there working. We don't want to take up too much of her time. With the bright future of Huntsville, Miss Pat, you know what I'm saying? As the growth of the city goes, because the city's growing in itself, especially for the district and the city council. What are your kind of future outlooks for Huntsville in the district?
So, Huntsville has been growing west and south. So the river has kind of stopped them from a little bit of growing south, but they're growing west.
Yeah.
I want North Huntsville to get some of that growth, but I want our growth to be control, meaning that the infrastructure needs to be in place. We need to have streets and sidewalks.
Right.
If we're going to grow, then we need to have maybe 1 or 2 more schools so that we can handle that infrastructure. And on top of that, we got some elementary schools that are old that we need to rebuild, make
True.
bigger, because most people don't know they made the new Jemison High School smaller than the Johnson.
Really?
Yes, really.
I've only been in the band room. I haven't been that far in school, but wow.
So the lie that was told was Johnson was too big and had wasted space. But my thing is,
What?
because our children had needs, that extra space could have been made for those students and their special needs. And I'm not saying special education, but whatever their needs were, could have filled that extra space.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely agree with you on that. I mean,
It's crazy. They give you the funding to tear down the school and build
Wow.
something that ain't got nothing to do with an educational value, though.
well, look at it this way, Ambassador Carr. They stopped. The last class was 2015, I think. They stopped the class then. That was the end of the school. They turned it into a police academy. Right. Now check this. In the Black community, they put a police training facility in the slap dab middle of it. You know what I'm saying? The new school was like a mini college. They then moved the facility to back south. It was south. They moved it north, caused a whole police presence in the Black community. More like 2 to 3 more times police presence in the Black community. Well, in District 1. We talking District 1 now. We talking District 1. And I'm telling you, these are facts. They moved it and didn't do nothing else for us.
Well, that let you know you understand what's going on. Think about what's on TV right now. All the shows is related to either military or cops or snitching. Okay? We had the same thing. We had Walker, Texas Ranger, but Walker, Texas Ranger was actually showing people how to deal with your community and bring these kids together, stopping the violence, stepping up, whatever the situation. I like to talk Walker, Texas Ranger. I watch it now and take some of these ideas and implement some of these things in my own curriculum of teaching and letting people know how we can actually unify together. The thing is that once you stop building prisons and start building juvenile detention centers, all your schools start to look like a prison under dictation, because you didn't call it a police academy after you named it. You called it a facility afterward.
There you go. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They're preparing us for prison. I'm from Chicago. Every house or building in the community got gates around it where you got to buzz in, this, that, and other, see who you is, boom, boom. That's good for safety, but it looked like Dixon Correctional Center to me and Stateville. I've been there.
Yeah. And I have to agree with you. Most of the schools that they built, the new ones that's here in Huntsville, they you buzz in, they got gates, electric gates. I mean, so you give these kids an outlook of being confined in high school. We didn't have gates.
No, we didn't.
Metal detectors.
We didn't, and we're not telling people it's a problem with being a cop or anything like that. You can be, because that's a stereotype that all black folks shouldn't be cops. Well, a lot of black folks become cops after they get out the military and been brainwashed. Right. But some of them that never been to the military, they're actually good cops. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So we just have to understand what the stereotype is of going on. Like I said, they not building prisons, they building juvenile detention centers. So who are they actually aiming at to fill up these private prisons like we did in the 90s? It was a success. Right. A straight success when we came up in there. Right. Right. You feel me? So now if we here goes something right here. Yeah. Huntsville, Alabama. I'm in Ohio. Where you at, good brother, at the bottom? He muted. He can't hear?
I got you.
I probably didn't hear him. Where you say you at?
I'm in Huntsville, but I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, Huntsville, St. Louis, Missouri, Chicago, Indiana. It don't matter where you at. Minnesota, Wisconsin. What is CHA? Look at any housing project development that just got built in y'all community. What does Chicago Housing Authority got to do with that? And why is Chicago Housing Authority a part of y'all situation on new community in Huntsville, Alabama, or Texas, or anywhere around the world? Chicago Housing Authority was the Ida B. Wells, the Robert Taylors, the Cabrini Greens, things like this. There was the projects in our crib. So why is Chicago Housing and Hood in y'all community?
Right.
For Hood Housing, and it's not Huntsville Hood Housing, but CHA and Hood.
Yeah,
building y'all projects because ours was so prevalent and successful in manipulating each other to kill off each other that now they feel like they can put it in every black community now and build a new project because they ain't gonna do nothing but stack us on top of each other. And she don't like her and he don't like him and she want to cheat with him and this, that, and it's gonna be the same.
Like nobody.
I'm gonna cut in, and Miss Pat can agree with me on that, on this right here. What they're doing on the northern end of town, they're building condos, apartment homes, 3-4 story apartment homes. Am I lying, Miss King? They got Research Park as a strip of apartment homes, close together. They put everybody right here, close together, and they're charging you. Even they're charging you $200,000 to $300,000 to live there. Now, if you're not an engineer, or you don't work for NASA, or you're not in a big time manufacturing,
you can't live there.
It's over with for you.
Yeah, like you said, the last thing, regentrification. Now, the thing about them building all these apartments and condos in that situation, we talking about the affordable housing ones that they calling so far. Now, even with them rich ones, do CHA have anything to do with it? Investigate the situation.
Some of them do, because some of the apartments are leased to Section 8.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, they have their hand in all of that.
So they not high rises no more. They're miniature row houses.
Yes. In miniature row houses, prefab homes in subdivisions. They are making those subdivisions. I know, like I said, Miss Pat, she's out there right now. She sees all of the building. It's so much land that they have available that they could build better facilities in District 1. Like it's a lot of property, acreage. We talking acreage in District 1. You know what I'm saying? That they can build more schools, better facilities, something for the kids. They're building apartment homes.
Now, area you talking about is predominantly black?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now look up the Ida B. Wells home row house. I bet you how similar they look.
They're building the fences. Several of those have they're gated communities. Majority of what they're building, I say 75% of what they're building in District 1 are gated communities. They're getting ready to be gated communities. You feel what I'm saying? And they're popping up. Let's see. Only thing that we have on this end is a industrial park, so to speak. But there's nothing in between there, downtown, and here. There's nothing in between. You know what I'm saying? There's really no food franchises moving over here. There's really not anything moving over here. And that's what Ms. King was talking about, like getting those types of businesses, you know what I'm saying, affordable housing and education. You know what I'm saying? It's the way that they're doing District 1 is definitely not right. They're overcharging and not building. And this is Huntsville we talking about.
Knowing we can't afford it, so we just go ahead and move y'all up out the neighborhood and put a whole new branch of new people over there. It's the same thing they doing like out here. Lima, Ohio, this been flipped so many different times now. To now that they built downtown, they got a little concert area that's getting closer and closer to the hood. So when you start moving things closer and closer to the hood, everything start getting more expensive to where we can't afford it, and they're gonna end up putting us out there in the country where the
Yeah,
murky stuff at and the dense land and all that stuff in the cornfields.
but
Because
check
that's
this
where
out.
a lot of us is going.
Check this out. We can't even afford to stay out there. So
Right.
where do we go with no retail, just industrial? They ain't even offering like the jobs. There
In the
no
street.
retail. But I mean, you know, but this is the second most place that in the world that's blessed, that's been put in the media as to live. Huntsville has been put out there as the most beautiful one, and it's ranked. We're gonna say it's ranked. But the way they're building
Yeah,
this and the way they're,
Huntsville has been ranked like top.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But if ain't nobody got nowhere to go and can't afford anywhere, then they create homelessness. But at the same time, they just passed the law that if you caught up in the streets on bad time, pretty much making it illegal to be poor, you out in the streets, they can lock you up and put you in jail. It's another incarceration plot too. That's why they dropped COVID.
okay, yeah,
Make us poor again. The middle
right,
class is now considered poor. They taking out loans and everything on their houses and mortgages again and stuff like that. They just made another poor society. Now the black folks that was here in the first place, they finna replace us with the Haitians and the Mexicans and mix
right,
the races up again,
right,
like the Moors did in Spain.
right,
It's
right.
nothing new under the sun. Now with the politics in the 60s, they did what they did with King and them and whacked them all out, gave us drugs to sell. In the 90s and 96, they changed the law, boom, 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 and locked up all the guys that supposedly been out here to help and make a difference and things like that that wanted to come home. And and each time it was a handout. In 2024, 30 some odd years later, that's why I say a 30, 60, 90 degree level, degrees of what they do. It's
Mm-hmm,
always 90 degrees.
mm-hmm.
30 some odd years later, here they come with some more handouts, wanting us to give them our idea. We want to fund. Oh, she killed me when she said, we want to fund your ideology. You want to buy my brain
Yeah.
to help y'all get y'all politics straight so y'all can create more havoc and bullcrap in my community. But y'all won't do nothing about the music in the land.
Well, this the thing. They built the amphitheater. Huntsville was number one in the nation to live. They built the amphitheater.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's on the west side of Huntsville. And we're gonna get ready to move on because I know Miss King out there working. But they built the amphitheater out there on the west. Now they did a performance and then turned around and protested against it. They protested against it because of Snoop Dogg that came. But when Jelly Roll came, it was a big fight. They didn't talk about it. That's just some Huntsville stuff that I'm going on. We're gonna move on because I know Miss Pat King working and we don't want to take up any more time. Miss King, I know you out there working and we don't want to take up no more of your time. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll be talking all night. You know what I mean?
You're doing good because you're bringing up the right subjects and the discussion,
Right.
and we need to talk about this again.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, it's if you don't mind staying on, if you have no problem with it, we'll love to have you stay on and listen to some more. We got about an hour left on the show. I know you probably won't stay, but it's fine. You at home, my casa, su casa, you know what I'm saying? But back to the amphitheater. So they protested that because Snoop Dogg. Now Jelly Roll, now they formulated this right here to divide the separation because they built it in an area not necessarily black. It's a mixture, but it still was considered low income. Now, right across a tree line, they jacked the price up. A tree line. This is the separation in Huntsville between them building infrastructure on the northern end of Huntsville versus building in the middle and the west. You see what I'm saying? We have nothing. We have no kind of nothing. We have nothing entertainment-wise on this end of town. We have an HBCU built on this side of town to include Alabama A&M. It's built on the northern end of town. Now, they are doing something with the school and the college. They're building more facilities to facilitate the college. But as far as anything for the college students to do, everything is south west, nothing north. If you try to build it north, they're gonna tear it down.
It's because
Every
y'all
time.
red line.
Well, why
You
is
already
that?
see red line.
Yeah. Okay.
What you say, Lady Red?
I was asking, well, why is that? Why is so much stuff on one side and not the other side? You know,
Well,
as far as coming
It's
from,
red line.
I understand, is it more predominantly black in that area? That's why they're doing that, or is it a mixture factual there?
It's a red line integration plan.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Because Jordans cost $250 in certain neighborhoods in the poor, but you can go in a rich neighborhood and probably pay $165 for it.
That's true. Yeah, that's
You
true.
see what I'm saying?
That's true.
So
That's
your
true.
red line according to the status quo of the people. Niggas belong over here, excuse me, but blacks over here, dude them over here, this over here. You know what I mean? It's no different than Chicago. Chicago, everybody know the south side of Chicago, north, south, east side of Chicago on the south side. Going north, south, east, and west on the south side, predominantly black, Mexican, and Italian. Everybody know the north side is predominantly African, Belizean, Mexican, and white. The west side predominantly black, Hispanic, and Italian. But all of them is sectioned out. The east side really don't exist. It's the southeast side.
Yeah.
Or the northeast side of the north side. Things of that nature. You go east is towards the lake. So whatever side of town you go east, you're on the southeast side of town. But that's predominantly this, and that's predominantly this, and that's predominantly. We've been sectioned off in red line for so long that now it's time to integrate these people after we've made them so racist against each other, knowing that that's gonna create a war because you got gangbangers out there. The Mexicans gonna shoot at the blacks gonna shoot back, the blacks gonna shoot at them, they gonna be at each other. The Italians coming in the neighborhood, some of them dudes probably connected on a different kind of level because of their family thing. You can't really go at them, but we ain't scared of them neither. So guess what's finna happen? They're finna create a integrational war. Last man standing. It's a red line.
Right.
Now, whoever the last one standing, gonna get the money.
But that happens a lot everywhere. That me coming from Birmingham, that's definitely, you know, Birmingham's on the map for being the baddest place to be now because there's crimes going on left and right. So when you predominantly think of, like, we're on the east side, so that's Center Point. And then you have the west side where I went to high school and everything, you know, and then we know in our West End and all that areas and stuff out there. And then you've got where they say the good areas, which are like Hoover and, you know, places that go further out, 280 and things of that. So they pushing more things out that way. And they have like the least common places where you go. Like when you go to like a common store, a lot of females go to like Rainbow. You go into the black community areas, it's run down. Everything's still apart. You go to a predominantly white area or up better area that's cleaner, that's neater, the clothes are hung neatly. Everything is priced. So it's all about, you know, just like you said, it's redlining and then how everything is set up. But hence, it goes back to like Miss Pat says, we got to make a stand. We got to stop stuff. We got to speak our mind. We got to do it and vote. We got to do things. We got to also work with the kids. So it starts within. We've got to do something in the community and stop accepting.
That's the stereotype level of thing. It's a stereotype. If I heard the one that's the most, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh no, you're good. I was just saying, you know, we stop accepting these things, you know, then things will change. Things will be better. But it takes us to stop it. It takes people in the community. We got to go vote for these people, go out there and help the ones that's actually trying to make a change.
Yeah. We got to protect the messengers now, man. Them people like Miss King, she need highly protected because these people are a long time ago. Edgar Hoover say any kind of black messiah they get, they don't care if it's man, woman, or child, kill them. And we keep turning our back on the people that's actually out here helping them because, like I said earlier, our people don't want to change on certain categories, so she's in the way to them. I'm in the way to them. Y'all in the way to them for talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what society has deemed us to be. Sambo. Always looking for the quick dollar, the hustle and things like that. So if we always looking for the quick dollar and the hustle and anything like that, we're always going to lead into a negative, illegal society on ourselves and take from each other.
True.
I offered a dude $250 for a $3,000 pit bully. He wouldn't pay $600 from somebody else from it because, hey, guess what? It was from Kentucky, but my breed better. We don't support each other.
Right. That's what we lack.
I'm gonna go get it from the white boy though, and there's no problem with it.
But
I'm not even mad about it. It just showed me how much that we take from each other and give to everybody else but each other, and then keep wondering why the black race is broke. We're not broke. We just keep spending our money with everybody else.
Right. Right.
So when we start talking about these things, about that holding them accountable for the way that they act, they turn our back on us. And them people, once you turn your back on a political leader in your neighborhood that's from the streets and from your walk of life, and don't nobody support them, you just opened up a hit on your brethren or your sister, and they gonna take them out.
Right. We gonna change fees. We gonna keep that. Just keep that same energy, Ambassador Carr. Keep that same energy. We gonna get back to that, Miss King. I know you out there working. I think we had all the questions we asked that I had written down. Asked. OG Capone came in late. He's another part of the panel on the show. Was there anything else that you wanted to add before, because you out there Mac and Charlie, what my grandma used to say. You out there Mac and Charlie.
Hey, I'm trying. Be sure to post, find me, Pat King or Patricia King, and do some postings for me on Facebook and Instagram, and I appreciate it. Hey, we're gonna win this. And then I'm coming back on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I know that's right. We'll be glad to have you back. You know what I'm saying? When everything is said and done, right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we appreciate
I'm looking up right now too.
We're gonna make sure everybody, if you're listening and tuning in and watching, wherever you're watching.
And how can anybody that's not from Huntsville get out there and help you with your campaign? Because I know that there's time to vote on the 27th. So like myself in Birmingham or others that want to help you guys that are in Huntsville, how can we go and help your campaign?
So I have a website. It's called King, King, campaign 2024.com. And hey, my personal email address is P as in Patricia, LYNNE.king@gmail.com.
Okay, we're gonna get that put up for you. I see Pope is doing that now. That's what I was doing. That way we can make sure, everybody knows, hey, if you want to go out there and help the communities, that's another way to do it. Step in and help each other out on there. Even I'm in Alabama, but we need change everywhere.
Yes. And we need to be looking out and helping each other from coast to coast.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Any kind of help, like I said, all the help is needed, especially when it comes down to our communities and what we're trying to do. There's people here. When people say that there's not help, there is help here, but we have to make that initiative to step up, get out, do something, get up off your tail, and go out there and vote for these people. Do your homework first, but also, there you go. Look at there you go.
Trust me.
There you go.
Hey, and I would like to add one more thing. People out here that are running for office that is standing for our morals and values, we need to start making financial contributions. We need our own PACs, and we need to put $25 in, $10. And that money, if we all put our money in, then we can make the contributions that the campaigns need to run and win. And that's one place that we are lacking. We got people running for campaigns, but nobody knows how much it costs to run a campaign. Emails, postcards go out, they cost thousands of dollars. So we've got to start making those financial contributions to campaigns. And one way of doing it is, one, going to those candidates' websites and making a donation. 2, we need to start opening up PACs and making contributions to those PACs. So when they do get ready to run, we can fund those campaigns.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Funding is everything when it comes down into politics,
Right.
because like I said, we in the Black community, we don't stick together as Ambassador Carr did say. We don't. It's just a fact. I mean, but the little that we do have, you know what I'm saying, we appreciate everybody that does donate, you know what I'm saying, and gives to the cause of the right. You know what I mean? We definitely we moving into the next hour. Let's see. August 27th. It's Tuesday. Y'all
Yes.
get out there and vote. Get out there, get up off the tail. Vote. Okay, what you doing? Vote. Vote.
When you voting? August the 27th. That's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday. I'm voting Tuesday.
It says school board member dumbfounded at letter from Huntsville mayor. What was that about?
Say that again.
It say school board member dumbfounded at the letter from Huntsville mayor. What the mayor say?
Well, it's this recent, because I got Michelle Watkins with me, and she's running for city council, but she's the current school board member.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading. I'm thinking I'm reading up that the mayor must have sent her a letter and it blew her.
Is it
I'm just trying to study and research the whole situation of what's going on. Vote Michelle Watkins for City School Board District 1. I'm gonna share that too.
Okay.
Yeah, but Michelle is running for city council now because she is sitting in the school board seat.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to see what the mayor had. What kind of letter did the mayor send that made her, I guess, mad or something? Maybe the way that they trying to explain it. Let Google tell you.
No, wait.
Well, you know how when it comes to
wait a minute. Hold on. Time out.
The things, you know. It wasn't a letter to this Michelle. It was Michelle, but you know how it goes when you have somebody trying to stop something positive what you're doing, or they have a saying.
There you go. So, that's why I said it's
fake news for our Michelles. You know.
Yeah. If you were Mr. Carl, if you was here, if you was here, you will understand clearly why we're disregarding that little part right there, because you know what I'm saying, we just gonna leave that alone, because like I said, we've already talked about it in brief summary of the north side.
I got you, because I seen her lips. She like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying. You gotta be.
Hey, let me say this. So let me say this. So when Black women stand up and are passionate about a subject or issue or concern, when we stand up and say something and feel it with our passion, we are angry, hostile, the angry Black woman. When Caucasians do it, they are assertive and they're concerned. So we have to understand that there's a different definition depending on if you are African American Black or if you are Caucasian. And we need to understand those code words and know what they're actually saying.
Right.
So when we stand up and we see something wrong and we're passionate about it and we're factual, now we're angry. Now we're hostile.
Right. And see that,
because I've been called hostile.
Mm-hmm. See, they don't want us on the north.
And it's just you getting your point across. You know?
Right.
A lot of then and things of that. If we get our point across, we're angry. We're being, you said, hostile on it. We're overstepping our boundaries, especially if you hold a certain office or anything. And us being Black, I've been dealt with all of that. Coming up. So it's a lot of that still goes on today in everything we do if a woman voices an opinion, you know, it's stereotyped. Just like black men are stereotyped. If they go out there and they see you dressed a certain way, they think every man is a thug. And he could be the educated man or the CEO of the company that you call him a thug, and you come to find out later that was the boss. So, you know, it's how everything is perceived, how everything is looked.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
See, that's why we get bypassed on a lot of things in District 1 simply because of we black folks. This is the black side of town.
Mm.
So everything gets passed over. It gets to either downtown, east or west or south. But just like Chicago, we got a river that separates. What people don't know, we got a river. The Tennessee River separates a portion of northern Alabama from the southern part of Alabama. You got to cross a bridge to get to this side. So you got to cross that river. Any way you look at it, when you come to Alabama, except from the north, from the south, you have to cross a bridge to get here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So they build more and cater more to that southern end. They give them entertainment. We got a spot on the south. She had to go. We got a spot on the south called Ditto Landing. They built more entertainment that way. Gave us nothing. You know what I'm saying? They built more downtown. Gave us nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the political situation, that's why we need people like Ms. King and Michelle in to get stuff handled. Not the angry black woman, but the empowered woman.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it seems like the people out there, as far as those that she running with or having to deal with on that level to on her fight, it seems like they adding a lot of things to try to discredit her worth and her ethic. And I don't think the people actually really seeing that she's out here doing what she's really out here doing while other people are sitting behind the desk writing letters. So I think her efforts and what she planned on doing with District 1 need to be implemented somewhere all across the globe, especially in Chicago, with us actually being the front runners of school boards, because Chicago got a lot of districts.
Yeah, and I didn't
realize.
realize
And y'all saying that y'all set between Tennessee and Alabama, it's just like Ohio and Kentucky. Once you go across the bridge in Cincinnati, you're right there in Covington, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And these people use the same curriculum according to how it is, because I think Kentucky is a what does they call them states to where they police differently.
Well, red states.
No, it's a name for it, like it's just a different way of how they police things, but they be actually having the same curriculum in school, state to state, state to state.
Right.
Common law.
Yeah. It's common law here. Same thing. Same thing.
That's how it is. It's like common law energy there. They go with the old kind of situation, but blend the new stuff with the old things to get away with illegal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio do it too. Mm-hmm. They can pass a bill and a law out here in Ohio, bro, and Lima won't stick with it. They'll fight it and contest it because they don't want to rock with it until the state actually force them to do it.
Right.
So if they say no more 3-year gun spec for a year, they'll fight and contest that for 5 years. And as long as they're fighting and contesting it for 5 years, they can illegally still give you 3 years.
Right.
On a gun spec type of energy over sentencing. But they give you 10 years for a murder.
Right.
45 years for a brick.
I got Mr. Ben on here, Jonas Ben. This is Pat Kings and Michelle, campaign manager. You know what I'm saying? Been knowing this man for a long time, you know. How you doing, Mr. Jones?
My bad, bro.
Okay,
welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. We got you. We can hear you.
Cool. Man, thank you guys for actually interviewing Pat. She is definitely one of the real ones, like your guy was talking about. There's a lot of people talking, but she's out here working. And
Right.
Michelle is just like that, and she's been like that the whole time.
Mhm.
You know, she's not afraid to go into places where most politicians don't want to go, and that's with conversation. And those two women are not bought. You know, a lot of times there's different districts that are by politicians to make them follow their agenda,
Mhm.
and those two are not like that.
Right, 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 right. We know this. It's a lot of mess that went
Yes.
on with. I ain't even gonna get started because that was a big mess.
Absolutely.
It was very controversial mess about this high school that they tore down on our side of town. Ambassador Carl and OG, they tore down the area that the high school's in. I put it to you like this: they took a piece of history out of the northern of District 1. They took it, didn't talk to the people, didn't discuss nothing, and then check this out. Wait a minute. It was Caucasian at first. They had trophies, chess trophies, debate team trophies from
Yep.
the 70s. They left them in the building. Demolished the building with them trophies in the building.
Yep.
Didn't give people a chance to go get none of the memorabilia from that high school from the 70s that cannot be replaced. It wasn't just blacks mad at that, it was whites mad at that also. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And that was our current District 1. Boy, it was a bunch of mess. It was some under the table. It was a lot of stuff going on. I ain't gonna put it out there on here because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But you understand the magnitude of the
But
politics and how dirty it can really be. You feel what I'm saying? Like
but
to
you
have
know
them
what?
type of black women in that position, you know what I'm saying, to cover that because it, bruh, no backbone. OG car, no backbone. No backbone.
So so
Grown folks, no backbone.
so T Pope, let me kind of piggyback off of that
Go
because
ahead.
you know I've been in the market. I've been every business I've started up has been on the north side, and that's from clubs to limousine services to different restaurants, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed, in our community, like the young brother was speaking earlier, we don't support our own. So when a business owner don't get supported properly, they can't reach out in the community because they don't have the funding to do it. You know, every recording studio or anything I've had, it's always been
Right.
to benefit our community. And it's interesting that at some point we're going to have to wake up as the men in our community and create alliances to be supportive. And that's why I jumped behind Pat and Michelle Watkins, because they need to see some young black men that is following their agenda. They have the vision, they have the support, they have the education, but they just don't have the alliance with the right black people. Let me say that.
Okay.
And T Pope was correct about it was a bunch of mess about Johnson. But what if we would have had our own lobbyists that could afford to go in and say, hey, let's just purchase this and you guys get out of our way and do what we want to do with it.
Right.
Even now with land and affordable housing, infrastructure and economic development is something that we can control. It's just we at some point our mindset have to change to be able to sit down at the table and create documents that create people um, hold people accountable for their responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. And there's so many tax breaks that we can build together that make it where it's beneficial because most of these businesses are sending money to the IRS and state governments when we could be using that to help the kids. And that's what I
Right.
plan on doing.
Right. Absolutely. So you know what I'm saying? Amongst all, like we were saying, we was having conversations about that in prior shows, Jonas, and you know what I'm saying? It entails all of these things building the infrastructure up, because we are a part of the infrastructure of the north side of Huntsville. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We've been here 30 plus years. We've seen it go from one extreme to the next. We've seen businesses go. We've seen them make a lot of money and then just boom, going on out of here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, anything that, that the big we can help, hey, we reaching out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anything that, we can get y'all down here to represent what needs to be represented on this side of town. You feel what I'm saying? We need that.
Absolutely.
And we see the importance that we need, especially what the big we stand for and what the guidelines stand for, because I'm part of the big we. We need this at District 1. We definitely do need this. This is serious. You know what I'm saying? Because these kids need it, man. These kids need it. Y'all two would definitely be a big asset to help out on that, just by the stories and stuff, coming from Chicago and Mississippi and the elements that y'all have been dealt with. You know what I mean? Anybody else want to jump in and say something? Y'all got the floor. I mean, I don't want to take up no more time.
Yeah, I'm definitely like how Mr. Jonas. I definitely like how he's definitely stepping up to help out, Miss King and Miss Watkins on there, because like you said, and I agree with Miss Pat on there, when women come into the structure and trying to get things changed on there, we don't get the help and the sources we need, versus if it's a black man on there and we're supported behind there, everybody jumps faster. So kudos to you on helping both of those ladies out on there. And like I was saying, Miss King, we're going to definitely support her coming from, I'm in Alabama, but the Birmingham area. So I definitely know about the different changes, the structures, and coming from, out of state, North Carolina, to here, seeing different things change from different states. We need everybody to come together to work on it and get things changing. It's only going to happen with us. Like the big we is helping out, our entertainment stuff is helping out, and everybody's coming together in the communities. So those are also the Pope getting everybody together and coming out here to make this change, and everybody talking about this. So definitely look forward to working with you guys even more in the future.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think as far as politics go ahead, brother.
No, I said I know me and OG Capone, we still planning that community fun day. Jones, I want you to be a part of that too. We're gonna do like a community fun day for the for this side of town. Free event, free food, performances, positive music. We just had to lock everything in. So I'm gonna get with you after the show. We're gonna lock everything in so we can get these guys down. I also work in conjunction with Our Father's Mad that's here in Huntsville, which, that's a mentoring program for the kids that don't have fathers.
Absolutely.
So they're on board too. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got to get behind Pat King and Michelle on this agenda, because it's important. You know what I mean?
So I do have some questions, because, sometimes sitting in different positions, you see things differently. Mm-hmm. So right now, what Pat didn't get into, and I was hoping she did, but I know she's working, but we know there's a lot of single mothers out there that needs resources and help. And yes, she did kind of touch on it as far as like, after school care or some tutoring and help. But what could be a solution for accountability? Because these parents don't want to be accountable for, you guys touched it a lot earlier, talking about how you was raised and all that stuff. But now let's deal with the issue that we have now, because you can't talk to a kid a certain way. You can't reprimand them. There's no paddling in school. These kids feel like they adults in small bodies. So what could we do as a community to help change that?
Stop listening to society rules.
Absolutely.
And discipline your kids according to how you need to discipline your kids, so the police won't have to discipline them, because that was part of the plan. If we take the father out the home, there is no discipline, because the mother can't teach the child how to defend himself physically.
I get that.
Unless she put him in school and things of this nature to learn how to defend himself physically. She could defend him. She can teach him how to use his head. She can't teach him how to defend himself physically. So there's a father that's not there, and then you have this mother stepping into it as a father's role as well, and the dynamics don't click because she's more of an emotional situation and a man is more of a physical dominant situation.
Absolutely.
So when you put the kids out, when you can put the father out the home because the sisters accepted welfare, and some just got kicked out because, hey, some sisters wanted the seed and not the father. Things happen like this. So it's politics that got us dealing with these situations according to our kids not being able to discipline them.
So let me ask you, is there a way that we can reverse engineer?
We do have that going on.
We have to step up for our women a little bit harder than we have been in the last 45 years. Okay, we understand that empowering women is a movement, and that's part of the situation of the problem with why men don't support women a lot, because they go into the politics and only speak on women's empowerment and not her spouse and not her man and things of that nature. So if it ain't got nothing to do for us and only you, then we're not going to support that kind of situation when women learn independence from watching a strong father. You could be the strongest independent in the world and woman in the world, but if you had a strong father, that's where you learned it from.
That's
you see what I'm saying? So if we don't have that equal balance, and that's why I'm praying for Miss King, and I'm going to stand behind her 110%. Even now here in Ohio, because she's not only talking about empowering women, she's talking about empowering men, women, kids.
Oh yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned that, because actually Michelle put a conference together talking about empowering men. Yes. It was, you know, most women, like you said, put a conference together for women. No, Michelle put it together for men, and that was very powerful. So you're spot on, but it's still, I guess, the answer I'm looking for, because that's more the dynamic you're talking about. Like, okay, the men that's not in the home. Well, we know that, but at the same time, what about the women that don't see it? Because you're on a whole different level than some of these women that don't see your level of intellect, is what I'm saying. Because it's a different mindset. You're spot on. You're right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, what Carl is saying, like I didn't want to intervene on that, but coming from a family with two parents in the home, because you do have a lot of people that has their mother and father in the home. And then you still have the situation as far as schools. Neither parent goes to that school, period. So it's not just, we can't just say it's the single mother, that the father is at the home, because even in those situations, if the father's not in the home, you got the father still tries and goes up there to see about the kids. So you got to look at a lot of different dynamics on everything. When it comes down to it, it comes back to us. If you got that child, taking accountability, going up there, seeing about your child, doing like our parents and grandparents and everybody did. I grew up around this foundation. Coming from North Carolina, we came to Birmingham. It was a whole disconnect on everything. I saw a lot of stuff in my brothers and stuff growing up where you didn't have parents communicating. You didn't have people coming together with each other like you do in other areas. And you always had people doing the blame factor instead of going and trying to do something, changing it. We've got now where these right here go along with everybody on the phones, the computers. You can't make it up to the school. You can do a Zoom call to that teacher and everything. They have that set up. They've got, okay, let me call and get in contact with this teacher. You have teachers that are getting underpaid. They're not getting paid with their work to come out there. A lot of them still want to be a teacher because they want to make a difference. They want to teach kids because that's how we was brought up. We had teachers mentored us, staying at the school, helping us, not because of their check. They saw something in you. Going the extra mile, saying, hey, you can do this and do that. So it comes back to us in the community, how you were raised, how you found. You can't keep blaming. This is a situation I was brought up in. That has to stop. We can't keep saying, I only had one parent. That's got to stop. A lot of stuff we got to take accountability for us. We got to redo it. And then when it comes to us women, because I'm Michelle too. So when it comes to us coming out there and we're fighting. It's good to have men backing us up in the office, political stuff, because I done went from being the youngest, the only Black and the only woman hold positions in these companies, and still had to hear, well, you had to do this. No, it's about family upbringing and everybody coming together, people backing you up. Just like women, we back our men up and everybody on campaigns. You have a lot of women back men up. We go for the back, especially me, an advocate of Black men, because I stayed on with my brothers, me and the only girl in the family. Hey, they stereotype Black men. I'm the oldest. I'm gonna make sure the sister got your back on this to let you know. That's why they grew up college graduates, didn't have children out of wedlock. None of us did. You don't hear about that though. You hear more about the stereotype Black men are thugs. They out here doing this. A lot of the women got children out of wedlock. Everybody uneducated. That's a lie. I grew up a lot of coming from West Side, going to what they call the hood schools and everything. Top of my class, along with the other 400 of them. So it was all about upbringing, people coming together in that community. You can make a lot of changes, but it takes us to do those changes. It takes people to get in together and agree and be like, hey, we finna make this change going on. We got to stop putting that, well, it's community, it's this. What are we doing? Have you went out there and voted? Have you went out there to help? Have you out there giving a hand? Have you went to tutor this child? Have you seen this kid situated help? Hey, let me make sure things, because we got to change a lot of things that's going on. Everything's been getting a disarray. And it starts from me at home. So that's how I see the whole thing. Yeah, we got to change narratives on a lot on what we do.
Yeah, and let me correct that too, because I was explaining the agenda according to how politics put people in a single parent home situation. We already know that there was the plot, plan, and strategy. So let me back up a little bit, because I don't want nobody to feel insulted about what I said. When I say things about because I do feel like I need to clarify.
Yeah.
When I say the politics of a single parent, but when I say the politics of a single parent home, to what boys can't actually see their fathers and things like that, and the mother can't actually teach them how to physically protect themselves, that's part of the agenda of a single parent mother home with them. That's what I was saying. Not that that a single mother can't raise a boy to be a man or anything like that. That's a stereotype that people actually, you got brothers, you got sisters, you got uncles and things like that. That is the male factor into that child's life, even if she is a single mother. The political part about these situations is that when they use these as an excuse to why women can't do these things, then most men stuck in that stereo thought process don't support women.
It's interesting. It's interesting you say that, and I back you 100% on that. But I'm a mortgage banker, right? That's my profession. But I've been in the entertainment industry majority of my life, even to now. I keep my hands in the entertainment industry. But what's interesting is, to piggyback off your point. So the FHA and all these banking systems, like you said earlier, the red line was created so women would go into the projects and they couldn't have their men there. Meanwhile, before we got to the projects, white men and white women lived in these projects to get their leg up. So, that goes back to, let's look at our situation where we know they're not going to help us. So we got to help ourselves. Now, that would be the biggest mistake they made, because if we control our own, we are their competition.
Right.
That goes from my end goal is to create a black bank. You know what I mean? So that way we can control interest. I don't care what the market say. You know what I mean? Yeah. We could do privatized lending instead of predatory lending. I see it every day. I've talked to lobbyists that I'm saying, okay, how do you allow like a Comcast, a utility company, or these small little businesses that don't report to these people's credit to make it positive, but if they miss a payment, they can report and make it negative? You feel what I'm saying? Those are the things we have to change, because at the end of the day, credit is king. It ain't money.
So would
You
you
have a
say,
long
is it
stack of
safe
money,
to
but if
say
that
that,
credit ain't right, if that
is it
credit
safe
not
to say
right,
that you think the best way for us to actually in our community to become a force to be reckoned with in our community and stand as that competition by them letting us do that we should actually finance ourselves instead of looking for the funding and the handouts from them?
Yeah, because we make enough money to do it ourselves. So
Right.
if look, it's an easy process. Let's say we take 1,000 people, just like 5 of us on here right now, 6 of us on here right now. Let's say we take 1,000 people of like mind, and we all have a monthly fee of, let's say, $50. Right?
Right.
We're gonna mess up $50 somewhere anyway. So you're talking about 50,000 cash flow.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
So
Easy.
now we able to show, hey, you know what? We can go purchase. We have purchasing power because we're going to use it as leverage. So that gets back into the economic structure, development plan for our own community. Because 1,000 people, I've thrown parties where I had 1,000 people in there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Charging $10 a head. You know what I'm saying? $10
You know
a
what I
head.
mean?
Yeah. 15 is get phone load. 20.
Now you
know
want to
what
skip the
I'm
line?
saying?
Skip the line. It was 30, 35, somewhere around there. So I mean, we could party for a purpose. You know, that's a fundraiser. Last night I was at a fundraiser for some dogs, the Caucasian community. Man, I can't tell you how much money they raised. And guess where they was at, Pope? They was at 805. They was at 805, and it was a casino party.
In Huntsville?
We had blackjack tables, roulette tables.
Oh yeah.
We had, you know what I mean?
Huntsville?
Right here in Huntsville, bro.
In Huntsville.
Right here in Huntsville. We do them all the time.
Well, parties with the company.
New news to my ears
they do that, and that's a lot of money, Mr. Jones. It's a lot of money that comes through there.
Frown. Wait a minute, Miss Lady Red. They frown upon the lottery. They vote the lottery out of here. Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Florida all are getting Alabama dollars.
That's a lot of areas.
Yes, I'm just saying, but my bad. I'm sorry.
So those are the things that we can actually start implementing in our community, because we know in our community there's a lot of people that love to play blackjack and all that stuff. Pope, you and I got to get together and put some of this stuff together, man. You know what I mean?
Bingo competitions, everything.
Yeah.
My brother Keon Moore, he in Wisconsin. He's a chef, man, and he did an experimental cook thing out there, you know, to get the big we out there, so people can get the flyers and understand that we was coming and stuff. He called it "We Be Cooking," and he wasn't looking for the money part of the situation. He was just trying to feed homeless people and things like that. And now that he's more in tune with it, and I advise anybody that's in the state of Wisconsin to get in tune with Keon Moore, man, because he's a heck of a cook. And he got a lot of things in mind for opening up certain avenues for homeless peoples and things like that in the community to get them back on their feet, rehabilitations and stuff like that. Like, we have a lot of people on drugs in our community. You know what I mean? But we're not the ones opening up rehabilitation centers for our communities and things like that, because I feel like people that have been on drugs make the best teachers of how to stay off of them when they're clean. Because guess what? I took that drug counseling class.
Right.
It's not how we roll. Your book is an assumption. Me living around my people that's been on drugs for 20 years and they've been clean 25 years, I kind of know how to keep people off of it by holding them accountable for even making the choice to get on it. It's not a disease, it's a choice.
It's a choice. I agree.
As a disease, you make money off of it. So now we open up our own rehabilitation centers, our own Black fraternities. We keep joining everything that they own instead of creating our own fraternities and stuff like that. We have one. It's called a Lighthouse, but it's ours.
Yeah. Right.
You feel what I mean?
Right.
It's ours. Anybody, it's yours if you become a part of it or whatever the situation may be. Hey, it's invite only, but at the same time, there are a lot of people here, brothers and sisters, gods and emperors and goddesses, that can do so much for the world if we just let go of society rulings, man, and stick to our own cultures.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We about down to the last hour 45. This has been a wonderful conversation. I'm not finna end the show. We still got about 15 more minutes left to conversate. We're gonna get some more subject and points in. Definitely on this. That's why voting is important. If we don't take initiative, for the people that's watching, the people that's listening, if you don't take initiative to make something happen for your community, be involved in your community. There's a job for everybody in your community. You know what I'm saying? In your common unity, there is a job for everyone. We just all got to get together and find out what that is. You know what I'm saying? And the accountability factor has to be in there also. I had to throw that in there. You know what I'm saying? I know, because I know Ambassador Carl, OG, and then Ambassador Strong. They are big on that. That is a big faction. Accountability. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Hey, God gave us every rule in the world, and He gave us our best repentance is being accountable. You don't have to die to repent. You be accountable for your actions and apologize to yourself, and then make your way by paying it forward. That's how you apologize to your community. I had to learn the hard way. So it's just what needs to be done, man. Accountability. Until we understand accountability to our nature, even with this reparations, and we started slavery, we have to be accountable to know that we created what we trying to fight against right now. And once we understand that, if we know we created these conditions, then we understand we know how to get out of it.
Let me speak on that.
I was just about to say, man, thank you for saying that.
I'm bringing up an analogy. I want to say, if in some cases they do give reparations, say they give every African American $300,000, would you know what I'm saying? Would that fix the problem?
No.
We're gonna rob each other.
Right. I mean, but I mean, no. If you gave every equal 300,000.
It wouldn't serve the purpose we needed to serve. We would end up a broke Black community again, because what we would do is spend it in every other community. So until we actually fix the mindset of we need to do business with each other, then dumping money in our community would not fix the problem.
So
all it's going to do is make them more rich.
Right. That I don't mean to cut y'all, but that was my key point of saying that, because that is what they offer us that we're not woke on. You give me 300,000, you give him 300,000. My 300,000 is going to be invested back with, the banks, like what we're talking about. It's going to be thrown back into something that's going to make it move further and the cause for the community. But like you said, 90% of these people are going to spend it on this and that and the other, which is good for their taxes, which is good for their pockets, which is good for their economy, not ours. You know what I'm saying? So again, I was just piggybacking on what he was saying.
Actually, it would be brilliant for them to do it, because they can use the government to say we're gonna print all this money to give to these people, but at the same time, we know we own everything, so it's gonna come right back to us.
That's what they want to do though this year. They want to do this now.
So
they're trying to implement that now.
But what's the conditions though? Didn't they say if the Black folks take the reparations of the $300,000, they was gonna cut them off of the society's things to get anything else from them? That $300,000 supposed to last you and your family generations for the rest of y'all generational lives.
Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
And then they say, well, you take this money, you're cutting from us. So why not be solving anyway?
Exactly.
But that's what I was saying. That the value of money, and people did this is awareness. Again, this is awareness. This is why we need to vote. This is why we need understanding. These are the little smaller things, the smaller, the intricate things. They take the money. You take the money. Most people, I guess, I would give 75 to 85, maybe even right at 89.9% will take the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The other 11% will not take them. They'll take it and use it for that purpose of what we're talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
So the scales will still not balance out, as you said. But that's what the politicians are fighting for. That's what they're pushing for us now is reparations.
Yeah,
they want to give us that money. They really do. They want to give us that money.
And
because they know our spending habits. They have the data on our spending habits. We spend over $1 trillion a year. So if we can't do it without management now, imagine if they poured in another trillion or a few trillion, it's just gonna go back to them.
And is $300,000 really enough for how much money they done made off slavery, including with this corporate constitution?
Absolutely not.
Slavery going on in Europe about 1,000 years before it got to America.
No,
you can't put.
I tell you what they can do and keep their money. let us be tax free for the duration of our life and our kids' life, and I guarantee you, they'll change the whole perspective of what economics is because they live off our taxes.
That's why I was just going to say, oh no, they'll break, they'll fold, their economy will fold. Instant, the first year they'll fold. Like, oh no, we can't let these people have this type of power like that. That's power.
That's power.
That's power.
Yeah, once you give power up, man, it's kind of hard getting it back. We gave it to them.
But I'm saying, look at the magnitude of taxes just alone. They can lock you up.
And it ain't nothing in the Constitution saying you got to pay taxes on your money.
Well, them two things guaranteed: taxes and death.
well, you know, when you take government in school, in high school, they tell you shouldn't be able to be double taxed. Well, you almost triple tax because you get taxed for your paycheck, you get taxed for the state, you get sales tax. So, the game has been just, the line keep being moved, and then the inflation is just a way to say, okay, these people are starting to catch up to us. Let's inflate this milk because now that's going to cut into their income, their money flow. So it's a big game they're playing like chess at the end of the day. So, the solution to the problem is us practicing group economics. And once we figure that part out, then we have no issue. You can raise the rent, whatever you want to raise it, but we own our stuff, so it doesn't really matter to us. Right. And that's where the Hispanic community is coming in winning right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the question. Is Ms. King lobbying for economical classes in the school curriculums?
By me being the campaign manager, those are the things I'm trying to put together as far as initiatives. It's funny because we want to, and I'll say it like this so it won't be so detailed. We have to have an outside source to govern what we want done, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
It makes sense.
Because once it's part of their initiative, then they get to control the cash flow of it, if the program is going to be there next year or not. But if we control it from a third party standpoint, we can do all that.
Mm-hmm. So that right now, y'all probably pretty much in the process of writing the proposals for that kind of situation, economical classes, business classes. You know what I mean? Okay, I got you.
And so one thing I would like to do, and that's why I asked the question earlier, what can we do for the single parent moms that's out here that don't have that balance, where we can create an initiative that holds them accountable for grant money? Because, when you bring money to the table, it kind of changes the mentality.
Yeah.
So if my son don't go to
what they want.
Mm-hmm.
For the help.
So if you look at it from the perspective of, if we say, hey, your kid's skipping school, so you don't qualify for this $1,000 grant, I guarantee you she gonna check and say, hey, you go to school today?
Man, your ass in school. Don't get an bus body. You better have your ass right there in class. I'm gonna be sitting in class with
a lot of changes and things like that is.
I feel like
things like that definitely need to be changed.
Yeah, man, get out.
Because maybe we need to more work there because they got phone calls and They got where they call at school like, hey, your child is skipping class and things like that. They still got that implemented. But like you said, Mr. Bill, Mr. Van, take the money factor in there. Hey, you don't get funding for this. Hey, you don't get funding for that. Because you have those others and people out there that do want the best for their children and go there. But then you got the other factor, the ones that's not doing it. So the ones that are doing good and continue trying to push their children, we get downplayed because you got the ones over here that's not doing anything. So you got to find something. Okay, how can we make it where it's effectively on both standards, on both sides? What can we implement? And it's bad you got to end up saying that when piggyback on you were saying from the Caucasians. Blacks tapped into it, food stamps and all that, but now it's done went crazy.
Yeah.
You have people where they're funding, you got, and I know plenty of them, but they're getting funding for this child here, not going to work. Make their ass go back, excuse my language, go back to work. You're not selling your butt, but go ahead and go back to work. Fathers got to go to work, you need to go to work. I done seen even on the celebrity side with us business where they divorced and you paying $18,000 for a 1-month-old, but you're saying that's not enough. That's more than enough for a 1-month-old baby. You wanted to figure your lifestyle, not your child.
Exactly.
You got to go back and think on stuff. The courts got to end up helping out on things like that. Hey, this is on the narrative for this child. You're going to have to still work. This is for the child's schooling, the child's stuff, not for you, not for your hair, your nails, and everything. I know I'm going to have some women mad, but I really don't care. But it's for your child. You out here looking good, child going to school and don't have decent clothes on, their hair not done, but you look A1. You out there got your cars and stuff, got Mercedes Benz and Maseratis in the projects. You ain't thought about getting housing and stuff. If things got to change, things got to change.
Just speaking the truth.
I have people mad. I don't care. I want to say what I mean.
I ain't
so.
Maserati in the projects.
I've seen
Mercedes Benz in the project.
Almost and stuff in the project. And you looking like, who coming in the projects with their home? Because first thing coming in your mind, they ain't from here, they from out of town.
Yeah.
So in the
first time I seen the Bentley was 1990 in the project.
You better take your car out here for Chicago on flats.
1990, a young boy named Casper, 17 years old, had a
now when I was in Chicago, I haven't. I've seen something in Birmingham.
That was like 90.
Okay. Well, you gotta think that's a whole different culture than down here. That's
no, I'm piggybacking on what she said. How you got this in the hood?
I've seen it in Birmingham though.
We talking about Huntsville, Alabama.
I have,
but you know what, Paul?
I have seen it.
You know what?
I haven't seen it.
It happened.
Yes,
it's been like that in Huntsville too.
That's what I said. It's Huntsville, Alabama has had that. You know, we've had the chameleon paints, we've had the big wheels, spinning wheels, all in the project. I'm talking about in the jets. We talking about the jets. Fuck the pro. We talking about jets. We talking about the jets. But
but why you got all of this stuff? Here it goes back to, we deal with artists and dealing with, behind the scenes of artists and stuff. Like I tell them, I done been around where I had to sit up there and sign the leases on putting the jewelry back into the jeweler's hands after the shoot is over with. We sending them cars back after the photo shoot is over with. Everything is persona what you see. They don't got that collateral money right then. Everything is a process. So everybody think, oh, you done got in there, you done made it. I'm balling out of budget. Hence going back, if they get reparations and the money back, they gonna be broke within 2 months. Because they don't know how to budget their money. They don't know how to save their money or put it back for their children.
I give it a week.
It goes back to teaching. It goes back to how we was learning it. It's a disconnect.
Okay, so I got one more thing to throw at y'all because it's interesting she brought that up. So I'm a sports agent as well.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of these college players, right? I gotta get it, baby. I gotta get it. So yeah. So let me tell you, I watch these players now that they're getting these NIL deals. The first thing they want to spend their money on is a grill, 20 bands off the rip. You know what I mean?
They
And
want
I'm like,
Yes.
wow. And so I'm looking at the numbers that they're able to make, and I'm like, do you know if you just bought a house over here and rented it out, that you never lose your principal money? You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
They got these
Right.
fake chains that these jewelers are laughing at them because they got these man-made diamonds that they taxing them for it. They taxing them for it, man. Like
Yep.
30, 40 bands.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so once
And
again,
that goes back to, I've seen some mothers go out there now, since we were speaking like now, started going back investing in their children. They went and bought them houses, bought them land and stuff instead of these cars and everything. Hey, this is your foundation. When you get out of here, you got something to live back on. And a lot of kids like, well, why? If someone will speak to her, you got to think outside the box. That's longevity money. Hence,
Yep.
that goes back to how you're teaching your kids and bringing up. You can't sit there. Okay, if you came from the projects or one family home or whatever, that's how you were brought up. But you can change them scenarios. You can always change dynamic on how you're walking. So it starts with whoever is in that household, how they're raising their children. Because
you're right.
You can't keep using this how situation I was in. Change the narrative, move it out, make people see, hey, I came from this, but I'm right here. Like a lot of people do.
It's interesting you say that because it's almost like when someone comes from, a family that didn't have things that they wanted, as soon as they get $1, it's like, shh, I can go buy this. I'm going to do it. And I'm not saying everybody's like that, but I'm just saying, like, man, there's so many young Black men that, you could tell that they didn't have that training. So now it's like, I got this money, and it goes back to what we talked about earlier. As soon as they get that money, they go spend it in the other community. And now they just gave them the NIL money to go do whatever they want to do with. And they know it's their friends. Go to this car dealership, go to this mall, go to this person. They tell them where to go. And they think they're getting a discount. No, they just keeping the money in the circle of people that's part of that circle. But you know what? I appreciate everybody that's been on this call. I know I kind of got a little long-winded.
Yeah, you good. No, we do this. We do this. This is the type of show.
Teaching us something I didn't know. We didn't know, whatever.
Right. I mean, I just want to say that, you know what I'm saying, before we go, we got about 3 minutes left. Well, I always do at the end of the show and give everybody a chance to get their shots out to the people that they, you know what I'm saying, want to get their shots out to. Our show is ran like that. You know what I'm saying? This you at home, you know what I'm saying? You
right.
yourself, you don't have to perform no scripted script. We don't do that over here, you know what I'm saying, on the Solution Radio. This is a political awareness for the solution. That's why it's the Solution Radio, you know what I'm saying? Along with the big league, other organizations coming along to do what we are talking about, speaking about, getting involved, you know what I'm saying? And really tapping into what you were speaking on the infrastructure, not just in Huntsville, but in other areas. So, you know what I'm saying? We want to thank everybody, especially Miss Pat King, you, Jones, for setting it up. Hey, I enjoyed that. She real down to earth. Yeah. Yeah.
I told you, she's not like the normal politician, man. No.
Yeah, I can dig that. We also got something special. I don't know, OG, if made any moves on that, but we're gonna keep that silent for now. Anybody want to get their shots out before we get up out of here?
I'm gonna give a shout out to you, good brother, for actually always giving the Big Wheel opportunity to look, listen, and learn, man, and actually give they ideologies and concepts and things, man. Something that's been in the making for a very long time. I will be in Chicago though, for those who gonna be there on the 31st. Us and Roosevelt, me and Roosevelt McCray, supposed to be doing a video to my little song, The Understanding. Okay. Probably something a few people want to hear. Yeah. And Capone for always inviting me, putting me on thing. Lady Red, I appreciate your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Shout out to all y'all for being the change y'all want to see, man.
Most definitely.
Cool.
Jonas, you want?
Yes, man. First of all, I would like to thank all of y'all for having the open mind to discuss this on this platform. Thanks for having this platform, T-Pope.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of work to do, and it's a pleasure. Whatever you guys need from me, I'm always available. I want to give everybody a shout out in Huntsville for, let's do it different.
Yeah.
Let's be the leaders of the pack, and let's make things change in our area. Let's not sit back and wait for them to give us crumbs when we deserve the whole pie.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
That's right.
And so at the end of the day, I just want to say thanks to everybody that understands is a different vision. And I got to give myself a shameless plug. I own Vision Network.
They just gonna just
Hey,
throw them on. Just throw that in there.
throw that in there,
Slap
And
spade
so
in there.
thanks again, man. I
Hey,
want to come back and do this again.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be more. She already said she wanted to come back anyway. So y'all lock in for the next show. You just let me know. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And we gonna work with some other ideas Brother Carl was bringing out in the private chat. It's some stuff that we definitely need to talk about outside of this. So we'll get together on that.
Okay.
OG.
Respect.
OG, you ain't said much today, man. What's going on with you?
Hey, I was late coming on the show, but anyway, I enjoyed the topic. But like I say, I can say this though, we're gonna have some, wasn't the president for the Green Party candidate gonna come on the show, her and her staff. And I was just, putting on the show to talk about her belief and what she got going on. Nothing else, no debates or nothing. I just want people to understand what navigators do. Not only that, I got some kids, some youth coming on the show that I want to get the youth involved into the politics and see what they views on what's going on out here, how we can stop the violence, what they see in it. And if you get the youth involved into the show and they tell you what they going through and what they see, I think it'll be a better understanding for the older people to understand where they're coming from, to look into things. So, that's two other things that I got. But other than that, man, it's cool though with me.
Oh yeah,
And
I know you stay back.
I
You
have
stay
a
back.
couple.
Yeah, you stay back in the cut. You don't say too much, but you know what I'm saying. In the shadows, you know what I'm saying. Miss Lady Red, you want to give your shots out?
Just shout out to the family again, our Empire family, and T-Pope for putting on the Solution Radio, bringing us a platform, and Ms. King and Miss Michelle Watkins also for being the strong females out there, getting that structure behind them. Mr. Ben stepping up and helping, our strong women out here, getting some things changed. The whole state of Alabama really needs to get a lot of stuff changed. So it takes everybody to work together to get these things done. And shout out to the panel on there, and I'm looking forward to doing more stuff with you guys, Miss King, Miss Watkins, and Mr. Man. Also shout out to our Red Zone that will be coming back on, part of the Solution Radio. I've been away for a minute working on some things for our record decks and everything, so we got a lot of stuff going on. But be on the lookout for this weekend. Solution Radio Red Zone show will be on, and we're going to be starting back with our music artists. So you guys are going to be meeting, everybody out there, artists tap in. We're going to be having some of our multi-platinum people, our producers, engineers, everybody's part of this system so we can work together, because Alabama is one area I'm trying to get back on the map in the right way as far as this music. So let's get it rocking, and Pope, I continue working with you.
Right. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Lady Red. We appreciate you. Shouts out. My shouts out to the whole family, you know what I'm saying? AGELREEFE and the family, you know what I'm saying? The big weed, most definitely shouts out to God first for giving us the ability to do all of this that we're doing. Without him, we are nothing. Without him, we are dust. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? For everybody that's watching, keep everything positive. If you want to link with us, just reach out to our Facebooks. We want to thank Ms. Pat King for coming on again, man. That was an awesome interview. I can't wait to do the next one, and make sure y'all do tune in for these next few weeks of episodes that we're going to do, because we're going to have some big people here. And it's going to be some people that are known in the history books. Yep. So I want to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, really, have done some stuff in politics, big in the movement, Black Panthers. Hey, I mean, we gonna go in depth on this show on Sunday. So y'all keep it tuned in, keep it locked. Thanks to the panel. Shouts out to the panel. You know what I'm saying? My label, my artists, everybody. And we out of here, man. We gonna go and jump on out of here.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Been real.
Appreciate you,
everybody.
brother.
All
Bye.
right, no problem.
Peace.
Much love, y'all.
Much love, man.
Much love.
This your boy T-Paul. This the New Solution Radio podcast show. And if it ain't AGELREEFE and the family, I'ma keep saying it till I get tired. Overstand, leg up.